Greetings, rally fans! This is the start of a series on all the different locations in EA Sports WRC, also referred to as Dirt Rally 3. It will dive into tailoring the vehicle tuning to each of the rallies, and also into the different driving challenges that you encounter at these locations. Now though, this is episode 0, and will not yet look at a specific rally in itself. After reading some comments on my other videos, I think it might be helpful for many to start with a general guide on tuning, like broad strokes, which settings affect what vehicle behavior, and a general strategy for how you could approach the process of tuning. So here we are in the time trial mode, which I would suggest for the general process of tuning, because you can go back to the server's park if you pause the game, go back all the time during the stage, switch some settings, go back out again, start the run and see how it feels. So we have here a Lancia Stratos, which is like a tiny little piece of shit how it comes out of the box. It is very, very tipsy and oversteery and basically just wants to crash you in the woods all of the time. And I will try now to take this as an example of how to dial out this unwieldy behavior and make it a bit or a lot more controllable. Okay, now let me present you how I go about making this car much more drivable. You want to go into the tuning menu, obviously. So how do I think about this? I approach this in 2 steps. First of all, I want to make the car drivable, how I like it in general, independent of where we are, what this location is. And then I want to adjust specific things to this location, okay? This is 2 steps. To go for the first step, the first thing I would adjust would be the anti-roll bars. You find them under springs, but don't touch the springs yet. I would only adjust the anti-roll bars to make the car generally more over or understeery, depending on what you want. Because this basically applies in every condition. If the car is accelerating, decelerating, or just rolling, these will affect that. And to make this piece of shit a lot less snappy, I would try something like this. Yeah. Once you're ready with your general over and understeery feeling, then I would adjust the under and oversteer under braking, which, well, affects when the car is braking, how quickly the back end comes around or not. And with the differentials, you can adjust the oversteer, understeer feeling under acceleration. Also a bit under braking, but primarily, in my opinion, under acceleration. And since the Stratos is quite snappy there too, I would lower all of this down a bit too. Okay, when I say, okay, the car in general drives now more behaved, more sophisticated, that I can control it, then I would think about, where am I? What adjustments does the car need to cope better with this location? And there, you want to adjust the gears, the springs, and the dampers. Springs and dampers, see them as one thing. You always adjust them kind of at the same time. And you want to adjust the gears. It doesn't matter in which order. Let's do gears first. This is quite simply dependent on how many long and short straights you have in a location. So you want more acceleration power or more top speed power, whatever you want. You adjust that to the location you're in. And the springs and dampers you adjust to according to on what surface you are driving, like how many jumps you have, how bumpy is the surface, how many things you intend to cut, so the wheels need some travel there too, and how's the whole combination of the car. So anti-roll bars you would already have set in. You would adjust the spring rates and the ride height to your liking, and adjust the dampers accordingly too, so the car behaves better on jumps. I will explain this much more in detail in the upcoming guides, just to give you a general direction of how I set things up. You will have noticed I haven't touched alignment, and I would suggest you don't touch that too. The default setup here is, in my opinion, always quite good already, and any changes you make here have such a small effect that you probably won't need them. And at the point you would try them out and might be needing them if you're at that if you're driving already at that consistent level, you would probably not be watching this setup guide. So yeah, my suggestion is just leave alignment alone, even if it is at the top of the list. Adjust the other things first. Enter roll bars, then braking and differentials, make the car behave, then springs and dampers for the surface, and the gears for the amount of straights and top speed and acceleration. This would be how I approach tuning a car. When you are ready and happy with your setup, you say you save that and exit time trial mode, and you are ready to use it wherever you want to. So this did not yet go into deeper detail, but should give you a guideline on the order to fiddle around with the settings. In general, this whole series is not aimed to give you copy-paste setups, even though you might see some of my setups. It rather shall try to teach you how to tailor a car to your own personal driving style, and not relying on anyone else's. The best setup is not helpful for you if it clashes with how you drive. The best setup always aims at maximum control of the car. Therefore, the best setup is always your own setup. Now, covering all 18 locations will honestly take months. This channel is just my hobby after all. But for the meantime, I want to point out which of my old Dirt Rally 2 guides would be most closely fitting to each of the locations. Since the physics are still quite similar, the setups are as well. I will put the links to the old guides in the description. So here we are with our locations. Just to give you a quick reference for the old guys, Rally Monte Carlo, basically Rally Monte Carlo. It was already in Dirt Rally 2. The general gist of it should be very much the same. Same goes for Rally Sweden, was already in Dirt Rally 2. Just look at that guide until I come around to make a guide for WRC. Guanajuato Rally Mexico. Here I would suggest you take a look at Australia. It's a jack-of-all-trades location with technicality, with high speed, with different kinds of challenges, so your car needs to be quite adaptable to, well, different kinds of things, and that is what Australia represented in Dirt Rally 2. Croatia would be Spain. Yeah, smooth asphalt, just look at Spain. Rally de Portugal. Again, Australia. Also jack of all trades, actually a mixed surface event with a lot of asphalt. Some parts of it are similar to Wales actually in terms of driving style, but Wales is also jack of all trades location. So yeah, Wales or Australia would be a good place to look. Same goes for Sardinia. Take a look at Australia. It has fast sections, it has slow technical sections on gravel, jack of all trades. Well, Kenya. Yeah, there is actually not really something comparable to the challenges of Kenya. It is quite the unique rally. You can though look at Argentina for the Dirt Rally 2 guides, because it doesn't have a lot of jumps and it has a lot of surface things that your suspension needs to soak up. So that is similar to Argentina. Take a look at Argentina, but be aware it's not a 100% match, but it's the best match I can suggest. Rally Estonia would basically be Poland. Look at Poland or the USA guide. Poland and USA had exactly the same setup recommendations, so look at either one you like, Poland or USA. Finland was also in Dirt Rally 2, so just look at the Finland guide. Greece, same goes for Greece, also in Dirt Rally 2. Rally Chile. Well, despite the look, don't be deceived by the look looking like Wales. I would actually suggest New Zealand is the closest match here, because it's a very flowing stage with the corners going into each other in a nice rhythm and not a lot of jumps. So New Zealand is the place to look. Rally Japan, again Spain. It's mostly smooth asphalt all over the place. Rally Corsica. I actually would say Monte Carlo. Look at Monte Carlo and focus on the parts for the tarmac. It's very, very narrow. It has some sharp edges, some jumps and very undulating tarmac, so it's not quite comparable to Spain. Monte Carlo would be a better match to look for first guidance. Rally Indonesia, well, again, I would say Australia. It's a jack of all trades. Take a look at Australia. New Zealand. Look at New Zealand. New Zealand was in Dirt Rally 2 already. Rally Norway. For Norway, you might say, well, Sweden, obviously. Yes, but, and Scotland. This style of road, like how fast it is and how narrow it is actually very similar to Scotland from Dirt Rally 2. So take a look at the mix basically from Sweden and Scotland for Rally Norway. And finally Spain. Oh, no, actually not finally. Spain was already in Dirt Rally 2. Look at Spain again. Finally, the Central European Rally. You will not find it here. It will come out later as DLC for free. I suspect, if they model it quite well, that you can either look at Rally Germany, if it is, well, a purely asphalt rally with narrow roads and 90-degree corners, then look at Rally Germany. But if they model it with this kind of fall, autumn leaves on the road and the mud being pushed onto the tarmac like we saw in the real event, then I would suggest more like Rally Monte Carlo, because, well, you don't have ice, but with the mud and the leaves on the track, it might be very similar to Rally Monte Carlo in terms of driving. Well, I hope this gives you a solid starting point. I aim to do Finland first and explain especially springs and dampers in more detail. But let me know if you struggle with a specific rally a lot, so I try to cover those early in the series. See you in Finland then. Drive with a healthy, calm madness. Cheers!